Welcome to the Two Opinionated Brothers Podcast with Smart Jarvis and Big Sam. This podcast, opinions, and views are simply those of the two opinionated brothers. So don't trip.
Big Sam, how you doing today?
Doing very well, Jarvis.
I'm glad. Why is it so funny whenever I ask him that, man? You never know what he's gonna say, right?
Because I just instantly get joyous, man. Like I get
for
so
seeing
excited.
me. You joyous for seeing me?
Wednesday, and I get to talk a little bit, man.
Okay, but are you excited about seeing me? We've been friends for a long time.
Well, let's talk about it at the end of the podcast,
And
we'll see. You'll see where we go from there.
Shay B, how you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah. Why are you trying to sound sexy?
Well, I just naturally sound sexy. I mean, thank you for letting everybody know that you like this little. What is it, my southern twang?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Get your hand off my leg, Lachey. Sam, hey, what I wanted to talk about, mainly, the only thing I wanted to talk about, and then you can pick whatever little boring topics you want to talk about, was the young man that committed suicide on last week. Was like 15 years old, Huntsville High student. Really sad situation. I actually know some people that are related to him. I was talking to one of his uncles Monday night, and I saw his mom did an interview, and she was saying that she didn't necessarily blame bullying for him committing suicide, but of course it didn't help, and that he was going through some, depression and confusion at a young age, and she even mentioned some of the medication he was taking. I think it was Zoloft. And she said she was concerned about because it said that one of the sign effects was suicidal thoughts and tendencies and things of that nature. And I actually dated someone several years back, like in college, that dealt with depression, and it's a tough thing to deal with. It's stressful for obviously the person, and then it's also stressful for the people that's around them, because you never know. They're up and down. You never know if something's going to happen, if they're going to try something, if they're going to try to hurt themselves. It's just every day. It's like a roller coaster. But I heard a lot of people kind of focusing on the bullying and focusing on his sexual orientation and stuff like that. So I was curious to hear what your thoughts were on that topic.
Well, being a compassionate human being, we definitely hate for any member of our society, of our family, of our community to suffer abuse, be it at the hands of classmates, parents, family, friends, whatever the case may be. And especially, in our schools, I feel like especially young black men, they have so many things in a lot of instances to overcome, and obstacles, that we face every day, to be attacked by the very people who we call family and call friends and so on and so forth. I think that is it's very unfortunate. Like I said, we've always had the mentality that, the African American community is under attack, and we certainly don't want it to be a situation where the people that we should be able to trust and the people that we should be able to talk to, and I don't know. I'm thinking, what can be done,
That was my question, because a lot of people were talking about the kids bullying, and people should be held accountable, and administrators, and could they have done more? And I don't really know what you can do. I mean, kids bully kids all the time for various reasons, right? And anything can be considered bullying. You know what I'm saying? Things that I remember when we were in high school, we used to, wrestling and stuff was big. And so like people from the football team, the guys from the football team, we would grab the other students and play wrestle and stuff like that. Technically that was bullying. We were bigger, stronger, faster than some of those kids. They probably didn't want to play around like that with us. So I guess that was considered bullying. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know if you can hold kids accountable for, I don't know, man. It's a tough situation. I don't know if you can blame anyone for it.
Well, let me ask you this. Bullying is bullying, right? Like you said, it's all different types of levels and so on and so forth. But is the narrative that he was bullied for being gay? Is that
I'm
was that
pretty
what
sure
is that
that
the
was.
narrative that's being pushed?
I'm
That
pretty
he was
sure that
bullied
was
for
the
being
narrative.
gay.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm pretty sure.
now, I don't really understand that portion of it, especially in today's society.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's not you know maybe years ago, when we were in school, if you were gay, you kind of had to worry about what other people would say. But I mean, it's
well,
not
I mean,
not a
it's not as taboo, I guess,
yeah.
as when we were younger, but it's still not like, okay, no big deal.
Really?
Yeah,
But then
it's
also
still,
too, I
people are
think
still getting teased
when we were
about it.
in school, kids weren't as out,
Exactly.
so that bring
Well,
that's
nobody was out.
no,
Really.
yeah,
I
really,
mean, nobody was out.
you would assume or say things, and not even that's not even just kids, that's your uncle or your aunt, who they bring a friend to a family cookout, and
That's Auntie's friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's Auntie's friend. But I think also too now that you brought that up about the whole depression thing, because I didn't get a chance to catch the interview. I don't know any other family. I'm actually working with a nonprofit organization in the city to try to help stuff like this next month. But I think it's a bigger picture, as well as if he was depressed and some other things going on with him, maybe a chemical imbalance. Like, how do you prevent something like that with the bullying and with the the issues that?
I don't know, man.
It's
I
a
really
tough
don't know.
situation.
I mean, because it's like, even the little bit I saw with the interview with his mom, she said there was no indication that he was, you know, this was going to be the day, or he was really down, or she said, I think she said she didn't know if something happened in school that day that triggered it, but she was saying the little interaction she had with him the night before, there was nothing that would indicate to her that it was going to go, left this quickly. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know what you can do. I mean, because different people handle situations differently than others, So, something is said to me, I may get extremely sensitive about it. Something said to you, and you like, oh, that's pretty funny. So I don't know, man. It's just a tough situation. I don't know that. I mean, kids are gonna be kids, man, and they're gonna say stuff. And I mean, we can say this, and we can say, I'm sure there's some stuff at home that they get it from, and it's a whole, it's a lot of factors included. But kids are gonna be kids, and you're gonna get teased at school.
So, but my question is, okay, didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, you did, man.
yeah, I did, but my thing is this a hate crime?
No, I don't think anybody's
Well,
suggesting that.
if the narrative is he was being bullied because he was gay, I read that over and over. That's what's being said. He was gay. The kids were bullying him, right? Isn't that a hate crime? If you,
I don't know that bullying is a hate crime. I don't think that's been. I don't think that's a hate crime. You'd have to. I think someone would have had to physically harm or do something to him for it to.
so speech
go into hate crime.
so speech can't be considered.
You can have hateful speech, but it's not considered a hate crime. Yeah, it's not considered a hate crime. I also saw that some cop said something about him, and he got in trouble, got suspended or something.
Yeah.
But we don't support that. The cop being suspended for his speech.
Well, you know what?
Ask me, he needs to be fired.
Well, you know what?
But
You
we
know
don't
what?
support that though.
Now,
we
listen,
believe that people ought to be able to.
You know what? It's very interesting because when I heard about it, I was like, well, what did this clown cop say? Let me go and look and see. And he said something like
Liberty, guns, Trump, Bible, and barbecue.
He made some acronym for LGBTQ, whatever. And he said something about the LGBTQ agenda is fake or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is, I would say it's distasteful to say it because he said it on the post that was talking about the young man committing suicide. So I'm like, that's pretty, low class. Why are you voicing your opinion about whatever there? But I did expect it to be a lot worse than what I saw for them to say he was suspended. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was using like slurs and he was talking all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, technically, if his opinion is the LGBTQ agenda is fake or whatever, I don't know that. he needs to get suspended for that. And the reason I say that is because then we go into, what if I get up here and say something on this podcast that somebody doesn't agree with, and then I go to work Monday and they say, we're suspending you because of something you said that you didn't agree with, whatever, whatever group. You know what I'm saying?
Let me chime in on this because I think he should be fired, honestly. And I'll tell you this. Yeesh. I'll tell you why. He made this insensitive post. Now, if that's what he thinks, that's fine. Post it on your Facebook. He made this insensitive post under a 15-year-old taking his life. For whatever reason, this young man took his life. A family is mourning, a community is mourning. So he takes it upon himself to discuss his beliefs up under a post that's made in regards to a young man who has taken his life. Oh, yeah. We all know kids that's 15 years. He's a clown for that. Low-class clown. Furthermore,
no question about it.
I can't, no matter how I feel, I still have to be tasteful in what I post and what I say. Point blank, period. Because the next day, I can be fired just like that because that's just what it is. And I also consider myself.
Right? Is that right that you can be fired for voicing your personal opinion?
I think so.
See, and that concerns me.
It concerns you, but I think before I post. Now, you can assume I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm not going to get on Facebook and say off with his head.
Yeah, right.
But I'll present it a way to where you can have your thoughts and opinions, but you never really hear me confirm it. So yeah,
but even though
he's appealing to the community, if he pulled you over and you were gay and he hit you a little more than he would have hit someone else, he's a deputy. He should be held accountable.
Well, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. And just put his opinion aside. It's stupid as a police officer to go on the post that's talking about a young man that just committed suicide and say something stupid like that. It's just stupid because it's gonna. I mean, I don't know, but what happens is when the mind of someone that is hateful or prejudiced or what have you, they get so upset and their mind gets so warped that they can't control their emotions. Right? He knows if he was just sitting around in his right mind, not upset, not fired up, he would know, hey man, officer, I shouldn't post that. But I guess he saw that, and he probably saw people saying how sad they were about the situation. They just start stewing, and then he jumps on there and says something stupid. I'm like, dude, come on, you got to be smarter than that. But regardless of all that, should he be fired for saying that he thinks that what did he say? Liberty, justice,
liberty, guns, Trump, Bible, and barbecue.
Now me and you would say,
and
hey,
then
Dan,
he
that's
went over
to
to
that.
say it was a push agenda.
But a lot of people believe that though. Yeah. A lot of people believe that.
They think it.
But why? Because he. Okay. But why? What's the fireable offense? Just like with our president, no collusion, by the way. Let me throw that in there. No collusion. No collusion, by the way. But what's the fireable offense?
So does it not show? Do you guys think it not shows any type of bias for an officer to post that? We all know that it was wrong for him and it was bad judgment. But do you guys not see a type of bias of
course
someone who is supposed to serve?
Of course it's bias. Of course it's bias.
So, yeah,
no
sure.
Everyone has bias.
I think we do. But just because I don't agree with your lifestyle, I'm not going to chastise it. I'm not.
That's true. You shouldn't.
But furthermore, there's something there to the point to where they felt the need to suspend him. And also to go further,
because
they're afraid.
And
they're afraid. They're afraid. How could they not suspend him?
And then this morning, they made their Facebook post, Madison County Police Department. I saw on Twitter where they made their Facebook inactive because of the backlash and everything they were receiving. Either way. So there's something, and kudos to them for at least suspending him because, a lot of times.
Is he suspended with pay?
I'm sure.
I don't know. I didn't.
I'm pretty sure he's suspended with pay. So
that's how it goes.
That kudos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still getting paid.
I mean,
so he's on vacation.
Taken.
He's on vacation right now. Yeah, he's on vacation right now.
Yeah, it was tasteless to say the least.
I don't know, Lachey. And I don't like fire.
Well, I just think that people, I just think that people should be able to voice and have their own opinions and thoughts.
I agree, man.
No.
Even when they're distasteful.
Regardless regardless of, just like with President Trump. I mean, he's an idiot, right? We all agree he's an idiot.
Thank you, man.
You know, I've never
heard you say that so
well,
far.
He is. He's an idiot.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
it. He's our president.
No question about it. And he's all, two things can be true. He could be the president. He can be
he deserves an opinion. You know,
he does.
Well,
he should have been fired a long time
Actually,
ago.
that's my commander in chief. So let me correct that.
This deputy.
I say this. I'm not
Well, I'll
against
be
the
on
freedom
paid
of
leave.
speech. I'm against for someone who serves the people who is showing a particular type of being biased.
But
if I
they
did a
all
prom
do.
dress drive every year and just did black girls, that's bias. I can't
Not
do
necessarily. Not necessarily.
That. It is.
But we'll talk about
all
that.
people.
Well, that's
We'll talk about
racist. That would be considered racist.
No, it wouldn't be racist.
If she says I'm only going to do for black girls,
I don't think that would be racist. And now
How is that
let's talk about that for a
Just
second.
give
Let's
an
talk about that
example.
for a second. Let's talk about that for a second. I think that a private entity should be able to do whatever they want, right? So I think that if there's a corner store, right, and they say, I don't want black people to come in this store. As a private owner of a business, I don't got no problem with that. It's up to the community to not support that private business and put them out of business. You understand what I'm saying? But if they say, I only want black people to come in my store, that's fine. You know, it's like, why would I, if there was a store owner that's racist, right, and doesn't want black people to come in his store, why would I fight to spend my hard-earned money with a racist piece of crap? Why would I do that?
Well,
so I'm going to say, the hell with your store, and I'm going to go spend my money somewhere
Jarvis,
else.
but
so I don't
you
have no problem with
understand,
that.
though, but
so
that's
if
how
she's
you...
doing, hey, man, quit interrupting me. So if she's doing a charity event and she decides to focus on black girls who are historically disenfranchised with black boys, right? It's safe to say that if we just kind of look throughout the landscape of America or just this city, there's more black girls and boys that would need assistance than white girls and boys, right? So if you decided to say, I'm only doing a prom dress drive for black girls, now you're not going to get the donations and the support probably that you normally get. Now you're going to get it from me because you know I'm all about black folks.
We live in a community, but still, I get it.
I don't have any problem with you doing that. Why would that be a big deal? Right? I didn't go to Jemison High School. I went to Bob Jones, right? Bob Jones is doing pretty good. So I'm not going to focus my community service efforts on Bob Jones. I'm going to go over here to Jemison and Sonny Herford, etc., and try to help those individuals out because there's more individuals there that need help than at Bob Jones.
So
what's the problem?
Just in general, I think when you and you guys are of service because you do community stuff, and I do community stuff.
Sam is a jerk.
That's fine.
Okay,
that's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like when you're supposed to be of service to help people, point blank period, if you're getting paid for it or not, you can't show any type of bias, especially on taxpayers' dollars. And furthermore, when you were talking about Trump, he should have been fired a long time ago.
Well, not for an opinion. This is what I'm saying is you can't fire somebody for having an opinion. Now, if on the post he had said, I'm gonna go down and I'm gunning down the next LGBTQ person that I see, or if I see one of those some bitches pulled over on the side of the road, I'm gonna zoom by.
My mom might be
if he had said any of those type of things, right, then yeah, now he is making a stance that is affecting his ability to perform his duty as a civil servant. You know, now whether you are LGBTQ, Muslim, black, whatever the case may be, if he sees you and you are in need of life-saving services, it's his ability and his duty to provide it.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Now, if you're saying to me you don't think that he's going to help to save the life of an LGBTQ person, then maybe that's the fireable offense. I can't trust that you're going to perform your duties.
I just think the post shows that he doesn't like gay people.
So he should just be quiet about not liking gay people.
As a servant, yeah. And this.
So what you're now you're infringing on his First Amendment right.
Hold on, I'll say this. No, you can have the. Of course, there's always the First Amendment right. I can say what I want to say. I get that, but also too, he went to a TV station's
Oh, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot and did that. And
he has that in common with President Trump. He's an idiot.
I just feel like the judgment was sucky.
No, it was
in general.
Sucky.
But sucky.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
But also too, now if he had said this about a black man, would you guys still feel the same way?
If he would have said,
just reference something distasteful to a black man getting shot or a black man killing himself or a black man in line of duty, because we can sit here and say, oh, that's just bad judgment when it's in regards to, we'll feel different if a black man was gunned down and there was a video or something posted and another officer came up under it and said something similar as in reference to the post that he made. I'm just asking.
What?
I think we would. I think it would be a bigger.
Well, it's our belief. It's our belief. Well, no, because it's our belief. No, it's your belief that the police officers are turning their back and turning a blind eye to the violence and whatsoever that's taking on or taking over the black community.
No, not all.
Blue on black crime, right? And so, how often does blue on black crime happen and we get a police officer that comes out and says something to the fact of it was their fault, that because of this, because of that?
Well, that's every time.
That's every time.
Always,
So they're blaming the victim, as you would say, for the crime. So this is the same situation. It's the same situation, and I don't think that those officers, again, whomever, whatever, if you're the ice cream person selling ice cream cones and you happen to have an opinion about something, now whether or not I choose,
we're trying to do a podcast here, Lachey, if you could keep
now whether or not I choose to purchase your ice cream cones, like Jarvis said, is on me. You may not like whatever, but I just don't believe that. Number one, I that people, what he feels is not as unpopular as people.
No question about that.
Okay. And everybody that feels that way should not be fearful of having gainful employment, because
but you can feel one way, and then you can let the general public know how you feel. Those are two different things. So sometimes it's good to just keep your opinion. So
in order to keep my job, then I have to keep my opinion to myself.
It does. I'll give you another scenario real quick. Usually around Halloween, you have the blackface. There were several nurses in the Midwest that posted on their personal Facebook page in blackface, mocking rappers and different things. They were fired. What's the difference?
There's no difference. They should be given their job back, paid restitution.
Well, I'm telling you, man. And I had this conversation with someone before. All of the incidents of people dressing in blackface is not a situation where someone should be fired.
I agree.
Okay, you can a white person can put on blackface and it be a funny joke Halloween costume. You can tell when someone's pushing the envelope and trying to be racist. Okay, because if that's the case, then black kids can't put on any costume that even though historically, we know historically who's been treated poorly. Sure. But every situation where they put on a blackface is not someone being a racist, piece of what and trying to mock black people in a negative manner. Sometimes it's emulation, which is the highest form of flattery in some cases. Just like they love all our music and love our food and stuff like that. Who's they? I'm sorry, our Caucasian brothers and sisters happen to love our music and our style, our fashion. I think they love just about everything about us until the police show up, and then then they go back to being white.
Remember why?
Yeah. Then they go back to being white and say, "Go talk to them over there. They the one that's acting up." So. Well, Sam, it looks like we took up the whole podcast talking about my topic and then get to any of yours.
We've got about 6 minutes left. 8 minutes. We've got 8 minutes left.
8 minutes.
We've got about 8 minutes left.
I got some partying to do, so.
Yeah, you've been talking about it. We get it.
Go ahead, man. What do you want to talk about before I leave? Because I need to pour.
Well, interesting. It's just a couple of interesting stories.
Before you do that,
here we go.
I read down in Jefferson County that they're looking to stop arresting people for misdemeanor drug offenses. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Be a written citation.
I thought you were plugged in.
I'm plugged in, but
how did you not hear about this?
I was just my focus has been on marijuana as far as the state possibly passing it legal.
For medical
purposes. Yeah, I haven't read that.
That's a joke. Okay.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying,
it's a joke.
It's a joke because it should be legal across the board.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I don't smoke marijuana,
No.
you know, but it's a joke to this. But I thought that was interesting that they're trying to. Although, as I read more into, because you know the headline says they're going to stop arresting for misdemeanor marijuana, and then when you look at it, they say they're going to do a citation, which means a ticket, which means you pay a fine. So, yeah, you're not taking me to jail, but what are you going to make me pay? Now, if you say the fine is $20, okay, then I'll say, okay, that's one thing. But if the fine is $200, $300, $400, $500, it's the same difference.
And then what if you can't pay it too?
Well, you know what's going to happen.
Jail.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the same tactics that they use all the time.
Yeah.
People go to jail because you write them all these tickets and they can't pay it, and then they end up going to jail and they just stay in the system. So I don't know. So you didn't hear anything about that, Sam?
Yeah, I read the article.
Do you have an opinion about it, or are you just upset because we didn't get to your topic?
Well, no.
Still have time.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I think that the state of Alabama is. I read somewhere today too that the first draft of the lottery bill passed the Senate.
Yeah, I wish they would.
This
I'm
morning.
tired of driving to Tennessee.
You know, so I think that
24-year-old just won $200-something million up there.
I think that times. Well, I'll just stop, man.
Sam's getting very sensitive because we didn't get to.
I'm
his
not
topic
getting
today.
sensitive. I mean, there's always
Sam.
next time.
I apologize.
Jarvis.
No, let's get it in. Please go ahead, my brother, because I don't want to hear about this off.
Well, I'm just saying, times are changing, and this whole you tie it all the way back into the bullying and picking on somebody because they're gay. Times have changed, right? And so if you're the gay person, you're the gay person, and I'm the bully, okay? The people are going to be looking at me like, what's his problem? Instead of looking at you like, why is he gay? You see what I'm saying? In the 80s, when we were coming along, the focus would be on you. He's gay. But it's not that way anymore. Now some people may agree, some people may not agree.
Well, there's a larger segment of the population that doesn't look at it that way anymore. But there's still a significant amount of people that
I guarantee you that the LGBTQ kid probably is going to garner more support than the bully. And
publicly.
Well, not publicly and privately.
Publicly.
It's a national story.
Even if you don't agree, I'm gonna take it a step further. Even if you don't agree with homosexuality, right? You're not going to. Well, I don't know what you might do, Jarvis, but the average person is not going to attack you for feeling how you feel. For attack someone for being gay. Even if I don't agree with it.
You would think so.
I'm not going to walk up to you and be like,
you would think so.
This and this.
I mean, you would think regardless of your take on homosexuality, the story here is that a 15-year-old kid killed himself.
Because
regardless of what his sexual orientation was, whatever, a 15-year-old kid was so depressed, so sad, so confused, so whatever, that he decided to take his life. And now that's someone's son, right? Someone's brother, sister, cousin. I don't know if he had siblings or not.
He was an only child.
Only child, okay. So, but he had a mom, a dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, a ton of friends that's gone, right? So that should be the story and not focusing on what his sexual orientation was, regardless of what you believe about it. So,
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby's in jail, dude.
That's my point.
Bill Cosby's in jail.
I read an article today that
they're still writing articles about Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Well, he's hired a new set of attorneys.
He's trying to get out.
And yeah,
hurry up, man. Because I just
he's trying to get out, and the reason being is he's saying that the law team that he had, they billed him over $9 million. I think it was something like $1 million a month for his defense.
He locked up.
He's claiming elder abuse, saying that because of age, he didn't really understand, what he was being billed, why he was being billed, his defense, and his and I hear, based on the article, that it is possible that a judge might see it. What do you think, Jarvis? Is it possible for an elder to be taken advantage of?
I don't really care about your topics. What I wanted to bring
up real quick. Is it possible for an elder to be taken advantage of?
Who knows? What I
Yes,
wanted
it's
to bring,
possible.
what I wanted to bring up quickly before we went, because it's much more interesting than what you're talking about. They had a debate, not a debate, a town hall, and Bernie Sanders says that he thinks that everyone should have the right to vote, even felons that are currently locked up, whether it's for murder, terrorism, etc. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that you definitely probably are on the wrong side of this issue. I think you probably agree with him that everybody should be allowed to vote.
Well,
you know,
I think everyone should be allowed to vote. Certainly, once they do their time.
Right.
Now, if you're locked up, I'm questionable on whether or not you should be allowed to vote, depending on what your charge is. So I would say if you're convicted of terrorism or murder, I'm probably gonna say we're gonna hold off on your right to vote. But if you're in there for misdemeanors, if you're did 10 years and got out, I'm talking about instantly. I'm not talking
what is
about.
the thing?
I'm not talking about
Jarvis?
coming out and you got to do all this.
You
paperwork.
said felons. Having a misdemeanor doesn't make you a felon.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
Okay. Well, you corrected me.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you, Sam, for correcting me.
Well,
You're so
I
smart.
solved the issue.
You're so
for you.
smart.
If you get a misdemeanor, you can still vote.
So smart.
If you're a felon,
So
you can't vote.
Even felons, immediately once they get out, they should be given the right to vote because they paid their debt to society.
Get out or get off of parole.
Yeah, well, that parole system is a joke anyway. Let them out and be done with it.
Yeah.
Don't put them on parole. So when you pull them over for speeding and they got a joint in the car, now you're going to put them back in jail for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? That parole thing is a joke.
The young man that got shot with Nipsey, he was arrested. He was shot and let out.
Yeah, put the guy in jail, let him do his time, and let him out. That parole system is a joke. That's another way to trap you. But what I'm saying is, if you're convicted of terrorism, maybe we probably don't need to let you vote, okay? But if you're in jail for drugs or something like that, I think you should still be able to vote, and immediately upon release you should be able to vote. You don't want anybody to vote that's been convicted.
Well, I think we're a nation of laws.
Barack
Right.
Obama said that.
Yeah, he did. We're a nation of laws.
We are. All the laws.
If you're going to be in this
good,
nation, you have to
all
obey the
laws
laws.
aren't good laws.
All right, well, do your part to change them.
Well, I am.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a felony. I don't.
Last
Are you
thing
sure?
before you have a
I
felony?
don't have a felony.
You
I don't.
Jarvis?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't think that I ever have a felony.
I
I
just
may.
asked.
Whoa.
You could ask me and I would be like,
But
nah.
this is a question though. Now, if
Lachey
I was
about to say
okay,
something, man.
but if
Stop
I
cutting
was
her
in the
off.
town meeting, then what I would have said, well, Mr. Sanders, that's his name, Bernie Sanders,
Senator Sanders.
Senator Sanders. I would have said, now, I understand what you're saying. All of these people, but what about the sorry people in my community who don't have felonies, who don't have any of these things, but won't get out and go vote?
Yeah,
What's your plan for them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe we should talk about that. That affect you don't have a felony, Jarvis.
No, I don't.
So why do you care if a felon can vote or not?
Well, because I think that it's a right
They'll
that
vote like
everyone
you.
should have. No, I just think that it's a right that everyone should have.
Yeah. You got some partners you trying to get their voting rights restored?
I actually did get some people's voting rights restored
You should.
because that's what I do.
You're
But
special.
anyway, go ahead, Lachey.
Real quick, I was just going to say, ask you guys about, did you hear about, this actually happened yesterday, Bun B in Houston. Someone tried to rob his home. His wife opened up the door. She was expecting a delivery, and there was a robber asking for valuables. He was upstairs. He heard the commotion, came down. The guy was in the Audi that she drove, getting ready to steal it. He shot him in the arm. The guy eventually went to the hospital, got arrested, and boom, was the story. Self-defense. He's clear.
What's the story?
It was just,
He did his job.
I thought it was just
Bun B did his job.
I just thought it was a dope.
Bun B did his
how
job.
It actually worked
That's
out,
what he's
'cause
supposed
it
to
usually
do.
doesn't work out that way.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do.
He's
If you
awesome.
come to my house later on tonight, Lachey, trying to steal, I'm going to shoot you in your arm. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So,
Why would you shoot her in the arm?
Well, because I like her, so I don't want to take her
Maybe
out.
she's hungry and she needs food.
I'm going to shoot her in the arm, and then I'm going to say, Lachey, what the hell are you doing over here trying to steal? And then if she says I'm hungry, I'll say, well, why the hell you didn't just say that? And then I'll give her something to eat while I'm driving her ass to the hospital.
Can Lachey or can anybody just come to your house?
Not
and eat?
anybody.
Okay.
Not anybody. Lachey gets shot in the arm.
So you don't.
know
So
where
you
gonna
don't.
get shot at,
So you don't have an open door policy. You
I
just
do
come
not.
in, sit
I
down,
do
make
not.
yourself at
I do
home,
not.
never leave.
Depending on who you are and what our relationship is, depends on what area of your body I'm gonna target.
You sound like a trumper, man.
So you know where you go.
You sound like a
fairly
trumper.
good. I'm fairly good. But the thing is, I'm gonna shoot so many times,
You gonna hit something?
I'm gonna hit something. Okay. So if you come over there stealing, you know where you gonna get shot
I'm
at.
not.
Though.
Listen, I'm not.
You don't steal. You stop stealing.
I'm not gonna steal from you.
You steal from other people.
Yeah, not you, Jarvis.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
not gonna steal anything.
Do we
from
have
you,
anything
Jarvis.
else to talk about? Because I got some partying to do. And we need to, well, never mind. I'll talk about that off. I don't want people to know how untechnical I am. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. You have anything else, Sam? Because I don't want to hear you crying later on tonight. All right. Next week, we'll do all your topics, okay?
Well, Jarvis, I don't think that you are ready or prepared. You need to put the glasses back on. I'm being honest with you.
I'll
man.
be a little smarter if I put the glasses
Your opinion
on.
was a whole lot more believable and with the glasses. But who am I? Just one thing. I like to say one thing in
Please
closing.
do. Hurry up. We're ready to go, man.
No collusion.
Goodbye. You've been listening to the Two Opinionated Brothers podcast with Smart Jarvis and Big Sam. Don't forget to like the Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Two Opinionated Brothers, and subscribe to our YouTube and SoundCloud at Two Opinionated Brothers.